23? Yeah, that's right. Cicero was 26. And I was 30. I was recalling that occasion. It wasn't at this house, of course. I was still living in that ramshackle place I inherited from my father over on the Esquiline Hill, not here on the Palatine. And it was a warm day, the month of Maius, wasn't it? Then, as now, I answered the knock at the door myself, something my wife insists I should never do, since we have a slave for just that purpose, and, seeing you today at my front door, I had that feeling. A feeling? Oh, you know, we all feel it now and again, that uncanny sensation that one has experienced something before, a shivery feeling. Ah, yes, I know the phenomenon. One experiences it less as one grows older. I wonder why that is. And I wonder why we have no word for it in Latin. Perhaps you or Cicero should invent one. Already seen, or some other compound, or borrow a word from some other language. The Etruscans had a word for it, I think. Did they? Tyro raised an eyebrow. There was a mischievous glint in his lavender eyes. Yes, it will come to me. Or was it the Carthaginians? A pity we made Punic a dead language before plundering all the useful words. Oh, but my head is such a muddle this morning. Because you drank too much last night. I looked at him askance. Why do you say that? The way you look, the way you walk, the way you sat down and leaned back against that column so gingerly, as if that thing on your shoulders were an egg that might crack. It was true. My temples rolled with thunder. Spidery traces of lightning flashed and vanished just beyond the corners of my eyes. Last night's wine was to blame. Tyro laughed. You had a hangover on that morning, all those many years ago. Did I? Oh, yes, I remember, because you taught me the cure for a hangover. I did? What was it? I could use it now. You must remember. I'm an old man, Tyro. I forget things. But you've been doing it ever since I got here. Asking questions, trying to think of a word. Thinking. That's the cure. Ah, yes. I seem to have a vague recollection. You had a very elegant explanation, I remember, because later I wrote it down, thinking Cicero might be able to use it in a speech or a treatise some day. I quote, "Thought, according to some physicians, takes place in the brain, lubricated by the secretion of phlegm. When the phlegm becomes polluted or hardened, the result is a headache. But the actual activity of thought produces fresh phlegm to soften and disperse the old. So, the more intently one thinks, the greater the production of phlegm. Therefore, intense concentration will speed along the natural recovery from a hangover by flushing the humours from the inflamed tissue and restoring the lubrication of the membranes." By Hercules, what a memory you have! Tyro was famous for it. Cicero could dictate a letter, and a year later Tyro could quote it back to him verbatim. And, by Hercules, what a lot of rubbish I used to talk. I shook my head. And still do? What? Had Tyro still been a slave, such a remark would have been impertinent. He'd acquired a sharp tongue to match his sharp wits. I call your bluff, Gordianus. What bluff? About that Etruscan word, the one that just happens to escape you. I don't believe any such word exists. I wish I had a denarius for every time I've heard someone say the Etruscans had a word for it, or that the Etruscans invented this or that.